Hello everybody, my name is Brooklyn, otherwise known as the Dramatic Otaku, and welcome to my Kaguya Sama video. This is talking about Season 3 and recapping it a little bit and my opinions on it, as well as talking about Volume 22 of the manga and forward of the manga up to chapter 266. This does have spoilers for both the anime and the manga at two separate areas, so I will put in disclaimers as to when those will be. Part of this video is text-to-speech. I had dental surgery, so for part of this video I couldn't talk, so I used text-to-speech for it, and the other half is me just rambling on. So yes, this video contains spoilers.
I got half my wisdom teeth out on Thursday. Talking is a bit of a struggle when half your entire face feels like it's been rammed with a log, so we have text-to-speech. Now I know what you're thinking. Why not just wait until your face is healed to talk about this? Well, I can't wait. This video is about Kaguya Sama Love is War and will be split into two parts. Part 1, the conclusion of Season 3. What did I love? Looking back at my prediction video and seeing what I got right and what I got wrong, and my opinion on Season 3 as a whole. Part 2, is the manga. What did I think of Volume 22? To chapter 266. I got a bit out of control after reading volume 22. And I did say I was gonna start reading the fan translation.
But before we begin this video, if you could please like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and I can't do that without your guys' help, so yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the video.
Yes. I'm trying to Frankenstein footage of myself to not let the video be fully text-to-speech.
Kaguya Sama Season 3, I want to look back at my predictions video for Kaguya Sama Season 3 while also talking about the series itself. I will also be Frankensteining in my opinion from halfway through the series from my Spring Anime 2022 video, because I've said my piece about certain episodes such as the wrapping episode that honestly was a standout for this season for me. I'm gonna clip that in right now. What was it, episode 5, where it was Chika and Shirogane rapping the entire episode? I was so worried that they'd skipped over that for one episode because they showed it and they hinted at it, but I didn't. I was so worried that they were just going to take out that section completely, because I loved that chapter from the manga and it did have to do with Shirogane and Hayasaka arc. It did have a lot to do with that, and I'm assuming Season 4 will further go into depth for that arc.
Nande?
Very, very worried that we won't get little Kaguya. I will be so disappointed if we don't get little Kaguya in this season. With 5 episodes left of Kaguya Sama Season 3, it is so highly likely that we will get little Kaguya, and I think the next episode, if not the next 2 episodes, because there is a lot of content to pack into the cultural festival. You have Ishigami accidentally confessing to Tsubame, we have obviously the Kaguya and Shirogane kiss going on. We have Chika going on the hunt and doing random shit. I think we also have a little section dedicated towards Hayasaka and Kaguya. And also we have Miko and the bonfire, and that has been set up in episode 7, which makes me think episode 8 is going to be the start of the cultural festival, and the second part of the cultural festival will be in episode 2, much like what they did with the sports festival. Now, I want to go back to the rap episode for a second, because they did, much like with the Chika Fujiwara Chika dance ending that they had, I think, for episode 1. Episode 5 of Season 3 had its very own personal ending, with my non-fiction as the ending theme. I fucking loved it. They fully leaned into that in that episode. Also, I was not expecting to hear Chika say fuck and motherfucker and imply BL in that episode.
私は知りたい男同士の行為応援するべき
I completely forgot she does that, but like just hearing her say that just threw me through a loop. And I think, what did Shirogane say? Shirogane says something about blue balls or something like that. It was really funny, and I want those sound bites forever. Like, oh my god, I love them. I love them. I love them. So yeah, Kaguya Sama Loves War this season is fucking awesome. I love my nonfiction. I love how they slightly changed up the art style for my nonfiction. I've been listening to the full version of that song on repeat because it's so good and I love it. I love how the fucking voice actors themselves rapped, obviously, because they kind of had to. And yeah, I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but it was really fucking good. I also love the little reference to Queen in that episode that Kaguya does. It's so good. I just love it. I just love it.
But yes, the rest of season 3, I want to talk about the cultural festival arc, I want to talk about how it was handled, and I also want to talk about the ending. The ending was super awesome. It was 2 episodes long. Most people thought it was going to come as a 1-hour episode, but no, it was a 2-part double release episode. So when it was aired in Japan, it would have been a back-to-back episode kind of thing, thus the 1-hour special. I can greatly say that there is in fact a season 4 that has been announced, and I'm super excited about that I honestly have forgotten what the arcs are after the cultural festival arc, and that's mainly because I've been so whipped with the last arc of the entire series in the manga. I will have to reread volumes 15 through 19, I guess. I'm assuming the next arc is the Hayasaka arc, in which we get to see a lot more of Hayasaka and Hayasaka's breaking away from Kaguya. That is probably what the next season is going to be about. In terms of my predictions video, did predict correctly that the series would end on the kiss, and I'm so happy they did in fact add a little bit of little Kaguya, which makes me so fucking happy, but I wish they had added a little bit more. Though my prediction from my prediction video was in fact correct. They ended the series on chapter 138, though they did rework it quite a bit. But I want to take a look very quickly at my Kaguya Sama, what can we possibly look forward to video, and see what I got right and what I didn't get right.
I can definitely see the 3rd season starting on that mini little transition arc of Hayasaka trying to get Shirogane to fall in love with her. Again, I am almost certain they will end on the Shirogane and Kaguya kiss. They might do some cinematic scenes of Miko at the bonfire because she's so happy about it. They'll probably go into Ishigami's accidental confession to Tsubame, but I'm almost certain it will take up a majority of the series, or of the season, and I would absolutely love to fucking see little Kaguya animated, so I'm hoping that they go up to volume 15. We will finally fucking see someone confess! We're gonna see the final fucking confession. They kiss, and I can't wait to see that be animated.
So what I got right from my video was that the start of the season was predominantly the Hayasaka, first part of Hayasaka's main arc, where Hayasaka is starting to rebel against Kaguya and make it a point that she has her own feelings, and etc, etc, etc. They spent a good portion of the first part of season 3 on that arc, which I figured that would happen, and the rest of the season is all around the cultural festival, which is roughly 4 or 5 episodes long. Now, I figured this was going to happen, and as I mentioned earlier, and as I had predicted, yes, they in fact did finish on the kiss of Kaguya and Shirogane. They didn't do it as well, personally, as they did in the manga, and I will point out that in a little bit. But I did predict that correctly. I don't know why I went against my word and thought, oh, actually, maybe they could do this in a short amount of time. A majority of volume 13 and 14 are dedicated to the cultural festival, so I don't understand why I backtracked and went, oh no, they'll only have like 2 episodes in the cultural festival arc, when in fact there was about 5. So I did get that correct, and I was happy when they did have a very, very little bit of a reworked chapter on little Kaguya. Very happy about that, but unfortunately we didn't get a full edition of little Kaguya, which makes me really sad. Okay, so for the actual season itself, I really, really, really want to talk about how the final act of the final episode has gone with Shirogane and Kaguya's confession. That didn't really end up being a confession. Not gonna lie, I had actually forgot that Shirogane doesn't actually confess, and that's why we get little Kaguya, but I really love how they've done it. Personally, how they did it in the manga was better, as you can see, like, the, like, final shot, I guess, the final panel of this supposed arc area, they have a really, really good, like, shot of them kissing, and it's so cute. Yes, there is like a balloon in the way like there is in the anime, but it's just a lot more intimate and sweet, and feels like it goes on longer, obviously probably because I actually stared for the page for a solid 5 minutes after it happened, but it feels really, really rushed in the anime. So I would probably wish to like have that go on for a little bit longer. I do think the like eye shot thing that happens to Kaguya's fangirl is really, really fucking funny, but I would have actually liked it if they'd had focused a lot more and gotten more intimate with the kiss itself. I do absolutely adore the fact that as the episode was happening, I did open the volume. I opened volume 15 and flipped through it, and it was almost shot for shot. Yes, they did like change the arrangements of certain things, like they put in the scene with Miko and Ishigami in the middle of that scene, which I really didn't actually like. I wish they'd have actually done it in a cohesive manner with the manga, but any sort of shot that was in the manga, they replicated perfectly in the anime. You could like look at the manga and read along with the anime, and you'd see the shot of Kaguya where she's holding the balloon, and it's exactly the same, almost as if they'd pulled it straight out of the manga, and I loved it. I honestly loved it. Something that I kind of wish that they had done was in, I can't remember which episode it had been. I think it was episode 8. I'm almost certain it was episode 8. They pulled panels from the manga and put it into the episode itself. I kind of would have liked if they'd done that here as well, because they only did it once in the entire season. I kind of would have liked that if they'd done that in the last episode as well. I know that probably would have maybe soured the moment for some people, but honestly, as someone who is a manga reader and a manga and an anime enjoyer, I probably would have liked if they'd done that too. The entire series as a whole, fucking awesome. The season as a whole, fucking awesome. And yeah, that's my opinion on the end of season 3. So yeah, I would now like to go over to my text-to-speech self.
Oh my god, volume 22 threw me through such a loop. Especially chapter 220. Truthfully, the last 2 volumes have been somewhat lackluster, and the last volume introduced a new character, Mikado Shiho, Maki Shijo's twin brother, something that I found too little too late, so I was expecting some odd tension in this volume going into it. I read volume 22 on the Shonen Jump app. I can't afford to pre-order the volume and couldn't wait, which started at chapter 212, and goes till chapter 221. Chapter 212 picks up from the last volume. We get some backstory for Mikado, and quickly him and Shirogane become friends. There's not a whole lot in this chapter except for fleshing out the relationships between Mikado and those around him. The chapter ends with Shirogane plotting something, as always. Chapter 213 is dedicated to Shirogane and Ino being best buds and demonstrating the growth Ino has had, which is pushed in the rest of the volume. Chapter 214 we are introduced to the best character of the series, Gomonosuke the cat. And we found out Kaguya adores cats. That's it. Chapter 215 The boys trademark talk about boobs. Shirogane lets loose and we get the honest opinion that Shirogane wants to fuck. Haha, funny. Wait, Kaguya overheard? Chapter 206 Kaguya overheard. Oh, here's some very important story development. Kaguya overheard. Chapter 217 Kaguya has a dirty mind, and major misunderstanding. Chapter 218 they're getting close, they go to Shirogane's and he's a nerd. 219 or cute date night, oh, they're staying over the night, haha teenage stuff. Condoms? Shirogane what's going to happen? They wouldn't. Oh, they won't. Chapter 220 what? This is not what I expected. Oh, they're not gonna do anything.
都会のお二方がお忍びかしら。お熱いわね。ちゃんと否認はしてる？普通に。
So, Volume 22 threw me through a fucking loop, and it completely gripped me and I needed to read more. So I seeked out to read the rest of the chapters. The following arc of trying to get Kaguya out of her family's control is insanely gripping. And finding out that Kaguya is in fact an illegitimate child now further pushes my narrative in my Kiss Kiss Fall in War video of Kaguya and Tamaki being incredibly similar characters, but I wanna talk about Chika in these next few chapters as Chika reacts almost exactly the same as my best friend does jokingly when it comes to my relationship with my partner. That being, I come first, how dare you steal my best friend. The amount of my best friend I see in Chika in the following chapters is so relatable and funny and I adore it. We also see Chika actually expressing what she likes in a partner, which we get a very vague description as every example given by other characters is shot down by Chika. And I would like to say, Chika is definitely some form of woman-loving woman. I don't care if it's crumbs, she can be bi, lesbian or otherwise. I am convinced she's woman-loving woman in some form. I'm claiming it. Chika x Hayasaka forever.
Chika, where is your fucking romance plot? Chika x Hayasaka, anyone? I personally fucking love Chika x Hayasaka. I don't know about you guys, but a bitch wants to see a lesbian pair, and I think Chika and Hayasaka is the perfect pair.
But in seriousness, there is a smidge of some form of WLW in Chika. She has some sort of a crush on Hayasaka. I am certain. And in this arc, I love seeing a cunning Chika, someone who is not only incredibly smart, but calls out misogyny immediately when she sees it. The remainder of the arc, going into these final few chapters, are so fucking funny. Some of the out-of-left-field shit is fantastic. And really reminds me of early chapter Kaguya Sama. Also, when are they gonna get on the Ishigami ship, huh? As of current, we've gotten hints, and an almost kiss. But brew, we need a solid confirmation. And lastly, I fucking love RPers in the comment section of fanscan websites.
Okay, just before the video ends, I also want to talk about Hayasaka. Fucking the way I really haven't paid attention to Hayasaka before her arc, but the way they've characterized Hayasaka, where if Kaguya tells her anything to do with the relationship, she gets all flustered and shit. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And like, you can see how they've characterized her the exact same way in the anime, and it's super cute. Just watching her interact with little Kaguya in the last episode really threw me back to like chapter 221, where she's talking to Kaguya after the event. It's almost exactly the same, and I fucking love it. So yeah, I love Hayasaka, and Hayasaka X Chica forever.
Personally, I will hope to be making a Kaguya retrospective video when the manga is complete. But for now, I do wanna say how much I love that the series is calling back to the myth of Princess Kaguya. It always has been, but I love how it's done it so explicitly in the last arc. Well, that has been my Kaguya Sama video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. What do you guys think of the recent chapters, volumes? Let me know down in the comments down below.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have an amazing day, night, afternoon, weekend. Keep saying fucking weekend. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!